Logic versus emotions. Which is better for a business building book? Well, the simple answer is both, but the best business books make the two of them tango like this Dancing with the Stars contest winner. But then I'll just stay with me for a little bit and I'll give you a simple 5-step framework to help you get your content dancing to the same beat. All right, so now that that's out the way, my name is Fortune. I'm a self-publishing strategist for established coaches and consultants who want to write a book and use that book to grow their business. And I've created a proprietary method of getting your book out of your head in less than 4 hours using just a phone and a few websites. Now, in today's conversation, you stay with me, and to the end of this short talk, I'll be giving you one of the key frameworks from my system. Now, think about this. A lot of aspiring authors want to tell their story in their book. And I asked this question not too long ago about whether you would want to write a business book that shares your, to tell your story or to sell your system. The responses came back basically saying they want to sell their business and their products and services, but they still want to tell their story too. And that is actually absolutely true. So it's not about just telling your story when you want to write your book, just because you have this hero's journey or you come from poverty, you come from this, you raise yourself out of this, you're self-built, whatever it may be that you're trying to express through telling your story. Most people have been through something similar in their own way. So just telling your story would defeat the purpose of a great book. Now write this down for your notes, write this down. Great business books guide and inspire their readers to set and achieve goals at a higher than they are currently set. Okay, so let me tell you and break down kind of what this means. Let's go over to my pad and show you what that kind of looks like. Okay. All right. As we look at this, we're gonna start off with this hierarchy of business books. Okay. I'm just going to draw a quick little triangle here, and my triangle on the lowest level here. And this is not necessarily the lowest level as far as quality of books, but just lowest on this rung of books. We're going to start off with books that are just transactional. Okay. These are just transactional books. All right. Now, transactional book typically has, the transactional book, you're typically looking at something that's just really about trying to just get paid out here, okay? You're just really trying to get paid. And those typical books that you see are like ebooks and things of that nature. You're just really trying to get some content out there to try to get a captured email, things of that nature that can be beneficial, but it's still just trying to transactional. Right above that, we're gonna go with the biographies, okay? Like bios and autobiographies. If you want to add that inside of there. Now, with the autobiography, these types of book, of course, are just really telling your story. But I put them a little bit higher on this hierarchy than the transactional books because it actually does a little more than just trying to be. People actually can get into a more of a biography, autobiography, depending on if they know who you are. So for that reason, this book is more about the people. Either you as a person and the people that you're trying to connect with through your book by telling your story. The next level we have up here is that informative book. Now, the informative book is typically what you see in your self-help area. Self-help is going to be typically you're doing something that have to do with a product, or it might be a service. But so you're talking about your products or services or the ideas or concepts that you are selling. Okay. The top level here, but is what I call transformative. Now, usually what I like to work with my clients on are transformative books. You want to actually cause some type of transformation. And in a way, all of these books are transformative, all these different types of books. However, when they don't necessarily go for transformation, when you're writing an informative book, a biography, or a transaction, a book. So this book up here, because this book up here is talking about possibility. So if you're not really offering us possibility, but again, talking about setting and achieving goals at a higher level, you're not really trying to write a transformative book. Now, here's a big thing that I really want to look at here when we talk about these books. If we look at this top level here, these books and the top form half up here are books that are creating an impact. The books that are down here below are these bottom two are more about influence. Now, when it comes down to it, you probably want to create some impact and some influence. However, for you trying to build your business, the most thing you want to do, the biggest thing you want to do with your business is create an impact. So let's talk about how to create that impact as it applies to the logic and it applies to this idea of emotion. All right, so let's get that, let's clear this off here. And we're going to start off with another simple little matrix. This matrix is, again, it's going to be the logic and emotion matrix. So we're going to look at this from the very beginning. I've got a little box right here. Boom. Add a little line here. Draw it across there. Cool. Now let's fill in this matrix. We fill in this matrix. We have logic across the top. We have emotion across the bottom. Okay. Now that's the line. This line here is about the content. Then we have the writer and we have the reader on this side here. Now, when we look at this, we're talking about the author. We're talking about the writer and the author. This is about the focus. This line here is about the focus of the book, okay? Is it on the focus on the writer or on the reader? All right, so let's really get into what this looks like. If we start breaking down these different areas, we go here. Oops, popped out of there, didn't we? If we look at this bottom box here, we are really focusing on what we would call a memoir, okay? If we're just focusing on the writer and emotion, that book is really called a memoir. It's great if you're really someone who's a celebrity, but that's not necessarily what most people are. There are only so many celebrities out here in the world, so you're more than likely not a celebrity. Now, up here in the top form up here, we have the logic, but the book is still focused on the writer. This is what you see a lot of the expert books doing out here, is they are focused on the writer, how great they are, and are talking about as logic, and are talking about how these different systems and things that they have created to make themselves into an expert. But the focus is still on the writer. And there's the type of books that you're hearing people say, like, if they want to sold there's so much of their product or the services. That's what you hear with these types of books coming about when you read these books about experts. Now, if we go over here to this upper right area here, quadrant, we have the logic and it's focused on the reader. Now, in this area, we're going to call this the guide. Because not only are you given these practical steps up here because in the logic area, but you're also focused on the reader, about getting them the information that they need to make a difference in their life, to transform their life. Now, on the bottom here, we still have one more area to fill in. This one area here in the bottom right is emotion and the reader. So what do you think this is going to be called? This is going to be the inspiration. This is those inspiring, the motivational books. Because you're telling about the stories, but the stories are geared and designed to help the reader go through some type of journey with you. So now, if we look at this area, going to the right of this, if we go to the right, this area over here is not the best area that we want to be, writing expertise and memoirs when it comes to making a transformation in someone's life. The area that we truly want to be in when we're talking about this transformation is on this right side. We want to guide and inspire, because when you guide and inspire your reader, focus on the reader, they're the ones who are going to come back and talk about your book. They're going to tell others about your book. They're going to say, how can I work with you? How can you be my guide personally? How can I hear you speak live? This is the type of response that you truly want to hear when you write the right book. Okay, so with that being said here, here's what I've done. After reading and studying and analyzing hundreds of personal development books, health books, business books, nonfiction books of all types, I've crafted my own dance, if you will, for content creation. And it's a way of being that guide and inspiring about marrying the emotion and the logic with a book that's focused on the reader that makes them want to keep coming back to you. I call this little framework that I have, this 5-step framework, the story formula. a story formula. Now, if you want a copy of this storytelling framework, just go ahead and let me know it down in the comments, and I will go ahead and get that to you. But as you move on from here, please don't focus on being this expert. Please don't try to just write a memoir if you're actually trying to grow your business with a book. Focus on being a guide and inspiring, using both the logic and the emotion with a book that's focused on your reader. My name is Arlando Fortune, y'all. As always, you can be, you can do, you can have anything you want in this world. You just got to believe. You can live a life of no doubt, just blessings, and I will show you how. Always remember, you're only one book away from your next breakthrough in your business, in your life. So go out there, make life happen today. God bless. Talk to you next time.